Welcome back to Enigmatica 2 Expert Mode, and today we need to look at a few things. First of all, just take a look at this. This is working very well. I've been moving the seeds from here over to our chicken farm, and they are breeding nicely. So today we're going to be going into improving this Manulan Emeradic Shuriken. If we just put it in the in this tool forge over here, you'll see a few things over here. It's stats, everything's good. You'll see there are 3 blades, and the 3 blades are all emeradic blades, and we're going to be replacing one of them with enderium, I think. Yeah, enderium, if we can actually make it. To make it, we're going to need a few things. You're going to need to go mine, and you're going to need to go mine around Y level 10 or so, and then you're going to want to go and take your scanner with a couple of spare scanner modules. Go and find lithium or boron. And once you find one, you should be able to find the other, because they're very rare, but down at Y level 10, you will find, or I found, certainly, just of huge veins of them together. So if you find a big block where lithium is, you're probably going to find magnesium, thorium, uranium, and, well, boron. So I crushed them up, and we're going to then use those to make ferroboron. Ferroboron is going to be basically steel and boron, although I may need to actually cook it up first. You're not going to let me do that, so let me just put you in here, and we should be able to make boron. And will you now let me cook you up? Yes, you will. So there's ferroboron. Ferroboron is very, very useful for what we're about to do, which is make a melter. The alternate approach is to go into thermal expansion, but either way, you can get something that will melt down a ender pearl, which is exactly what we need for enderium. So we're going to need some steel, of course. We're going to need some ferroboron, and we're also going to need some tough alloys. So that's going to need, again, ferroboron, I think, and other stuff. So why don't we just make enough ferroboron to keep us going? Tough alloy, here we go. So that's ferroboron and lithium. So lithium we're going to need as well. Probably going to cook it up if that's going to reject it on the same basis. Here's some lithium. So let's just get those cooking. And let's just put, well, I'll just process the rest off camera actually, but that's fine. Let's get some lithium here, and there's our ferroboron. So we can just get, I don't know, 5 of that turned into tough alloy. Now, tough alloy lets you make basically armor out of it as well if you wanted to, but it's nuclear craft. But we are going to be using it for a melter. So I think that's probably enough for our purposes. The melter needs these advanced platings. It needs a regular basic plating, which we've already made. And it's going to need 4 tough alloy per plate. I'm going to need, well, a few more, which is not a problem once I've got some lithium. Yep. So what is it? 16 we're going to actually need. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 6 of you as well. Yeah. Okay. In fact, no, we need half that, but it's fine. We'll get some extra. We get 2 for 2 inputs, of course. Are you going to be okay? Yep. So let's put the tough alloy in. Let's make this advanced plating from the earlier basic plating, which is just lead, pretty much, and graphite. So we're going to want 4 of this. There it is. And then we're going to want a few other things. What do we have available so far? So we're missing the middle slot and the bottom slot. The middle slot is to machine chassis, which is going to need some lead. And I don't think I have... why are you out of power? Have I drained... oh, is it nighttime? I've drained everything? I have drained everything. Okay, I did build a second solar panel, but I have been processing a lot of stuff, so it does tend to take up a lot of power. So let me just go sleep through the night, wait for the power to come back, and I'll bring you back for that. And as I was saying, we need a little bit of lead for this machine chassis. There it goes. And that should need everything for the melter. Yep. And the melter will get us some stuff. It'll get us, in particular, the industrial foregoing. Not industrial foregoing. It is somewhere else. Nuclear craft? Yep. Should be the melter. There it is. So we'll detect that. We'll grab another one of these. And I think I have some more loot chests as well, so we'll probably open them. First of all, I'm just going to put this melter down here. And wow, that's going to consume an awful lot of power. Yeah, this system's probably going to go dead as soon as its battery runs out, or wherever that is. So yes, that's going to be quite a lot. But the melter lets us basically pull in materials and melt them down, as you might expect. So I'm going to want to get a pipe. Yep, a universal, well, pretty universal, I guess. And I'm just going to put this basic universal cable back here because it was just disconnecting this so I get the power back, and that's also going up. But you can see we're sort of power constrained right now. So from this, I'm going to want to just go here for a second, and I'm going to want to maybe pull out of here and into a tank of some kind while this battery lasts. Tank, I want one of those tanks that we built for back near the chicken farm. I want to say it's a mechanism basic fluid tank. Yeah, and we'll put that down there. Okay, now I just need my configurator, and to reconfigure this, I want to pull. Yeah, so if I put something in here, let's say an ender pearl, and there we have a resin ender. Now I'm hoping too that this actually retains its fluid when you break it. It does. Good. That's exactly what we want, because we need to bring that over here, and we're going to feed this into our tank, into our main smeltery. To do that, we're just going to need that pipe again, and we will just configure it the other way around. Before we actually feed it in, however, we're going to make sure that nothing's trying to feed out of here. We don't want accidentally draining away our one of two ender pearls. So let's just get that going, and we are going to whoops, not redstone sensitivity. I want to change this. Push. Yes. So that should drain, I would have thought, into a drain. You can reverse them, or I'm almost sure you should be able to reverse them. I will sort that out in a minute. How about this? Basic fluid tank. Yeah, I should be able to feed this in somehow. Maybe I'm losing my memory. I thought that's how you did it. Anyway, I'll go and research that anyway. But before we get to it, we need enderium. In fact, I've got it in the favorites over here. And enderium is an alloying recipe that we can get, I think. Casting from molten enderium. And molten enderium we can alloy, I think. I'm all sure we can once I get to the right recipe. Let me find it. In order for that to work, you just need to change the top to pull this out of the tank and then push into the smelter. You can see it's already in there. We're just going to need a little bit of lead and a little bit of platinum. Excuse me. And hopefully, the system is not yet dead. Good. I will find a way to do that later. So, it is dying. Yeah, it is dying. Okay, I'm going to pull out platinum. I'm going to pull out lead, put that into our smeltery, and that will get us the enderium we need to upgrade our Shuriken. Yeah, I removed the melter. It was consuming all of the available power, and that's working fine. So I'm just going to put in one piece of platinum, and I'm going to put in a couple of pieces. Well, let's just put one piece of lead in. I want to see how much of each of those is going to need to trigger it. It's going to need a very small amount of platinum, more lead than anything else, and that is 144 millibuckets. So if we have a look at the enderium ingot, it is going via molten enderium, wherever molten enderium is. Casting, yeah, molten enderium, and then into here somewhere is alloying. I don't recognize that. It's that icon that I'd miss. 36 molten platinum, which should just be one, and then 108 molten lead. So that should be enough in there, I think. Yeah, because this is 144, so just one piece of crushed platinum should do the job. Let's sleep through the night and get our enderium ingot cast. And in fact, it's not the ingot that we want to actually cast, it's a knife blade. So we just want to put that away. We have a knife blade ready to be manually cast. Are you ready yet? Oh, nearly ready. So from here, we're going to replace one of these emeradic blades. Don't replace the manual, we're just going to replace one of the emeradic ones. Are you going to alloy? Hopefully you're not going to complain about temperature. Go on, one more tick. There it goes. And we should get molten enderium. Good. And we've got a bit of lead and a bit of platinum, but I don't really care about those. And let's just pour that out. There it is. And it's going to take very long at all. Now, what this is going to do for our Shuriken is just going to basically make it not fall off with distance. If I just fire this at this wall, you'll see right now it doesn't fall off. Now, if we get further away and do that, you see it's halfway down the wall. Okay, and I aimed at the same point on the wall. So the further it goes, obviously the more it drops. And eventually it just hits the ground, so you can't actually fire at things. that's not going to be a problem anymore, or it shouldn't be. So enderium knife blade, we want to make sure we are not replacing the insatiable and cold-blooded, which is coming from the manulin. Okay, so we want to make sure we are not replacing, but we are basically getting some of this other stuff as well as the existing stuff. So we have vindictive, cold-blooded, insatiable, and unbreakable. Insatiable, cold-blooded, vindictive, and unbreakable. So we have everything still there, but we also have these other things as well. So take a look at this. Portly gentleman. Shift right click an entity to capture it, cost durability, press the release entity key in order to release it. Don't really care that much about it. We'll have other ways of doing that. Global traveler. Yes, don't worry about that. Interference and end speed are the ones we want. So you can shoot Enderman. That's nice. And end speed, projectiles instantly travel to their destination. So that's basically the same thing as they never drop off because they go straight forward. So there we go. And that is our upgraded Manulin Emeradic Enderium Shuriken. And if I do the same thing now, let's go over here. Whoops. Go over here to the corner. Now I have a weapon that if I shoot, let's say it was about there on the wall, wasn't it? Okay, see that's going. And it's hitting the wall exactly where I put it. So that is going to be pretty cool. That is an upgraded Shuriken. I should also mention this design for a Shuriken came from a commenter back in Project Ozone 3 series. I even named it after them in that series, but I'm sorry I can't remember your name. You know who you are. If you need to know who that is, go back and look at the Project Ozone 3 Shuriken episodes, and we're pretty much using the same ones as over there. Let's go and see how our chickens are doing, though, because, yep, there's nothing like breeding chickens, and this thing is just breeding chickens. We have all these seeds in here, so the chickens will just continually be reproducing. We are, however, not... I've currently turned this off so that this can build up a population of chickens. And I think what I'm going to do now is just switch it back on, and then let's see if it can actually generate us some pink slime. We are going to be using the pink slime. There we go. Off it goes. And it's up to 632, 664. Okay. It does take them a fair amount of time to breed, but because there's lots of children in there, basically they're being transferred and turned into pink slime for us. So the pink slime is going to work fine. We've already got one, remember. There is a quest we can immediately do with that. That is a very useful quest for building your base up. And that is to get the material stonework factory down here somewhere. Material stonework. There it is. This thing needs a pink slime, and that's your only limitation as far as that's concerned. Everything else we can make and have made before. So if you want to be able to generate cobble, if you want to generate gravel, sand, and maybe dust, the material stonework factory is great for doing that. And furthermore, that then lets us feed it into sieves, which is our route towards infinite resources. You remember we made the sieve a few episodes ago. Haven't really done much with it yet because I want things like a tree farm and other sort of kind of stuff. But maybe it's time to think about just that. Before that, however, these quests give us loot chests, so we need to open them and see what we get. So a builder, that's very useful. That's basically a quarry, and a very fast quarry at that. So yeah, I did that fairly recently in, I think, Enigmatica chemistry. Horn of the Wild is useful for Britannia, not so much otherwise. Red velvet cake, yeah, I suppose. You put those down. It's not really portable food. Benevolent Goddess's Charm. I don't remember what that's for. I'll have to have a look at it later. Some in the comments could probably say Crafter Tier 3 is also very, very useful. And we got two of them, which is good. They're going to be very, very useful for mystical agriculture. Crafters are basically just like crafting grids, but you power them, and we can say, for example, let's just look at the essence, and I'll show you what I mean. Mystical agriculture has a whole bunch of different essences. However, so the main ones that you actually want to use, even if you want to upgrade the Shuriken even more to that commenter's suggestion, you want to get to Supremium eventually. Now you can get that from killing the Wither usually, but also when you've got Mystical Agriculture installed, that is. But you can also get it by growing these Inferium Essence, upgrading them into Prudentium, Intermedium, Superium, and then Supremium, and they then have armor and other stuff. Supremium is pretty much the top tier of stuff. And you can do a whole bunch of stuff with that. Supremium Coal. Not so much Supremium Coal, but let's just have a look. Oh, no, in fact, that's not the highest tier. The highest tier is Insanium. Yes, and that's even worse. Yes. What options do we have in this pack for that, actually? Insanium coal, I'm not going to worry about. Insanium ingot's the one we actually want, or the supremium ingot. So insanium doesn't get us all that well. Iridescent altar, that gets us the inferium seeds, tier 6. The higher the tier, the better they are for basically growing. And then, oh my, it's an expert pack, so there is an ultimate ingot that involves this. The ultimate ingot then takes us into creative power cell. Okay, fine. But the draconic helm is in there as well. Okay, with combination crafting from extended crafting. Fine. Before we get to that, though, supremium ingot we're going to be using for the Shuriken eventually. And to do that, we need to get into basically mystical agriculture. So mystical agriculture, I remember at the end of last episode, I think I checked for time accelerating, tick accelerating stuff. So time is normally the right keyword if you like to look for that. And time in a bottle is one thing we can go for, and that's actually relatively easy to do. I did get a comment to the last episode, thank you very much to you, saying that time in a bottle really helps. If you carry it around, it accumulates time. And then we can spend that on anything. We can just basically put it on like the drain and get it to basically produce a whole bunch of stuff because it's accumulated some time. We can spend that time on the drain to speed it up, draining into this and the table, etc. So we just have to leave that in there, and see it's starting to tick up. We can spend that later. I assume we can just leave it anywhere in our inventory. Yeah, and we'll just leave that there. So we want other things that will improve tick rate and crop growing rate because we're going to need them for mystical agriculture. Before we get there, though, let's go and see what we get. Block of Arctic fur, that's Twilight Forest. I'm not going to worry about that too much. And an observer. It's okay, but it's not as good as things like the crafted tier 3s, which is pretty amazing. I have to admit, 8 observers though. So that's the end of that day. I'm going to go and sleep through, and then we'll see what we need to do the rest of the episode. Well, in fact, what do we need to do for that mystical agriculture? Mystical agriculture. In fact, let's just look for essence. It's faster to go that way. To get inferium essence at all, we're going to want the inferium seeds, I think. And we're not going to see it from this. So inferium. There we go. Inferium seeds. Tier 6. No, I want the tier 1 ones, please. So it's just some inferium essence, and it's surrounding some seeds. Now, you tend to get this all over the place from different things. Breaking stuff and all kinds of stuff like that, I think if I remember rightly. We already have some, I think. But it does look like you can get it from the Nether, and it's also available... doesn't look like it's available in the overworld, but is there any way to actually get this any other way? No, I think we've just got it randomly. Let's see how much inferium we've got. Inferium? Yeah, we've got 39. And I haven't explicitly done this, it's just been from breaking stuff. Probably, I need to find out how we actually got it. But in the meantime, we have 39, and we can then upgrade that with some seeds. Okay, and that gets us our first inferium seeds. And we're going to need, I want to say 2, but other than that, that should be fine. Now, is crop sticks available in this pack? Crop sticks. Crop Industrial Craft 2. I was kind of hoping for crop sticks, whatever they're actually called. Maybe not. I'll have to check that out. One rabbit hole at a time, so I just decided to put these down, and these will actually get farmed. We've got some in here already, and we will be able to reproduce them once we get more and more inferium essence. In fact, this is enough right now to be able to get more. So yeah, that's fine, and we'll then get more put down in there. But in the meantime, we've got plenty of seeds for the chickens. We can always put that back if we need it in future, and we are able to make some other stuff. Let's get on with the other stuff first of all. Solar generators. I'm running out of power quite quickly, so I'm going to need another one of those. And then what I'm going to probably want to do is make the next tier up. This requires a couple of osmium, an iron large plate, and the iron large plate is something that I don't have. So I'm going to need to just get that quickly. That's just going to need 8 iron. Yep. And that's going to get cast from our smeltery. And that still has other stuff in it. but that's going to get going. We want the large plate cast. Okay, and whoops. Once that's smelted up, we'll get that in place. In the meantime, we're going to need some diamonds, and we need to crush them up. I would enrich them, but I'm always next to the walls out of power with this stuff. So I guess we can try and enrich it, and let's see if we've got enough power. Yeah, there's enough in the buffer just yet. We're going to want to convert over some enriched alloy. Enriched, do we have any left? We do not, so we just want some more iron again. And we're just using regular redstone to convert this over. I'm not going to enrich it too much. We're going to want 2 of those, I think. Yep. So that's 1 and 2. We get some compressed diamond. There we go. We can dump what's in there and then put the compressed diamond in, and away that'll go into our sort of advanced alloy, which is what this reinforced alloy, I should say. We're going to need then 4 solar generators. Now, I've made 2 already. I made a 3rd one off camera. This 4th one we've just seen. So the last thing we need is just the iron large plate, and we should have everything else. Are you smelted up just yet? So let's just get that. Yep, iron. And then we will just pour it out and use that to create an advanced solar generator, which should hopefully produce more power than 4 of the small ones. But let's just check how much the small ones are producing. They produce 35.5, ignore the half. So that's, well, in fact, let's not ignore the half. That's 71, so that's 142 for 4 of them. Let's see what an advanced version gives us. So tearing up the existing ones, we're now operating purely on a battery power, so we need to do this fairly quickly, but not terribly quickly, but fairly quickly. Let's just get all of those in place, and there we have to feed these in, but that should be fine. So advanced solar generator. I think this is going to be bigger than the other ones, so I'm going to place it one further away from the wall, I want to say. So why don't we just put it over here somewhere? Let's see if that will do it. If it's 3x3, that is. And yes, it is bigger. Okay. And are you actually feeding any power in just yet? You are not, because it has to be connected on this one side. You can see right there. So you can't connect it underneath. So we will connect it here instead. And I need to get this in a particular position. Yeah, let's get on top of it now. But that should be connected, and you should be feeding power in. You are. Because this say, yeah, okay, so that's what was it, 142? So this is pretty much double. So it's like 8 of those solar generators, which I like. That's more than enough for now. We'll get to thousands upon thousands later, but I do quite like this sort of compact method. What I was just thinking of doing here is actually bring this further down into the ground. We have an extra block space there, I think, that we can actually bring it down so you can actually stand on these and walk around. I've done that before in an old series. And yeah, we should have enough RF per tick to get going, or at least stay going for right now. So I can just put this cable back, and you should be okay to continue farming. Fine. So we've got an upgrade to our power. We've got an upgrade to our Shuriken, which leads us on to be able to make a material stonework factory, and that's cool. And then we want our sieve back, and we're going to look very briefly, but we'll just do that at the end of the episode, and we'll carry on with it later. Basically, X compressum. Is it X compressum or X nihilo? Let's look at X nihilo for a second. Let's look at nihilo maybe. Yeah, nihilo is probably the option there. So we're going to want a few things. An auto-sifter is one of them. So we're just going to get an auto-sifter. We're going to want another grinder. We got a stone axle. We want a water wheel, and that should be it, I think. Yes. We're probably going to want lots of water wheels. You'll see why in a minute, but stone axle is certainly one of them. So this one is going to need some stone gears, some hoppers, stone axles, and pistons. How much of that do we have? No, we have enough, almost enough of it. Let's just get some hoppers, of which I do not have very many. We want some iron plate. Yep, so an auto sifter is good enough there. Okay, and then we want some stone axles, which is some stone gears and stone rods. Yeah, looks like I'm going to need basically enough of those. So let's just get a stack of stone rods and a stone gears, which should be fairly easy to make. Except I don't have very many of them, but okay. And we want a few stone axles for this. However many we can make, 4 is fine for now. And then we want water wheels. So water wheels, oh, they're going to require more stone axles, aren't they? Yeah, I'm going to need more planks. It's going to be always be planks I'm going to be short of. I think I've got it in the... here. Yeah, we've got enough there. Let's just drop that there. So let's get some planks in here. And, oh, wow, is it the... It's the cobble I'm short of. Really? Okay, well, it's a good thing we got a material stonework factory, isn't it? If we just pop this here, you can choose here what it actually does. And in this case, it's going to start using it to make cobblestone. You can then choose to furnace it, craft it, grind it. This is something like a something like a song, but I'm not going to go there. 3x3 craft or just stopped. Yeah, so you can just change those to basically grind mode, to grind mode, and to grind mode, and you'll see it eventually turns into other stuff, and you can do various stuff like that. I'm not going to worry about it. There he is. It goes into dust and then straight to silicon. Now, we can actually use that, but for the moment, I'm just going to stop it. And I'm going to be quite happy that we get silicon. I think we can just use that directly to make electrical steel and stuff. Because I want the cobblestone for this, so let's just get some cobblestone going. And there we go. So there's our cobblestone. There is our stone gears. And up there into stone axles. Stone axles we can combine, and we can turn those into water wheels, which I only have 3. But it's enough to get us going. We need a space to actually do this in. Now, I'm tempted to have the sifting maybe in this little area here, perhaps. But the water wheel is going to have to go out this way if that's the case. So I'm debating. Maybe I'm going to put it here. Yeah, so let's just... My tongue's going today. We're going to just put it down in a sort of 3x3 area. Maybe sort of here. Okay. And we'll lead the stuff off that way. I know I can use a matic much faster. But we're going to want the auto-sifter down. And I can never remember which direction these actually go in. That looks to be the right direction. And then if we just put the sieve on top of it... Yep, it automatically gets connected. That then can be shaken by this auto-sifter, but to be shaken, it has to be connected to everything else, and everything else being basically water wheels. So if I just get my matic for a second, and we'll sort of cut out a trench, and then get the water wheels going. They work much like the water wheels in many other packs. They're just more compact than like the immersive engineering ones, and they're quite nice to actually use, to be honest. So let's just get that going. Oops. Yeah, there we go. Now you're going to need at least, I think, 3x3 for these things. So if we just get this down here, and we'll just put a couple down. Okay, because I don't have enough shafts to actually do this. Let's put this stone axle in place, and I kind of remember which way around you put these, but let's hope that this is the right one, and then we're going to want the water wheel, aren't we? So we want to put another one down. Okay, and let's see if we can put the water wheel on the end. Yep. And now we just want a bucket of water, which is not too bad. I don't have an infinite water source there, so I'm just going to grab one from the system. I need a bucket. Yep, just one. I'm going to grab a bucket of water. That'll do for us. And let's see if this thing will start turning. There. Yes, it will. And you can see it's starting to sieve for us. So all we really need to do is feed stuff into those sieves, and they will start to process materials for us. Now, what I'm also going to do is just going to quickly head over here, and then I want to put the rest of the sieves down. I want to see if we can actually put the sieves over the top of the shaft, or if they all need to be out the end of the shaft. I think you can. You must be able to. Let's just try it. Well, can we? Can we do that while it's connected? Let's just get rid of that for a second. How about now? Now it's not running. Just put it on the ground, maybe. Yeah, must be able to go on the ground. So let's just put them all down. Interesting that they have these nice little sort of blocks on them, but that's fine. And then let's just put this the whole thing down. So let's put this back. Yep, and they're all going to move just fine. So let's just put that sieve down there. Okay, and then we can just put, you know, pieces of dirt back, and we have a nice little array of sieves. Okay, and that will work perfectly well as far as that's concerned. However, then obviously I can put materials in here. If I just put some gravel in there, you'll see what I mean. In fact, we may need to feed into this. I think we may need to feed into that sifter. It's been a while, but I think we need to feed down. Yeah, so I'm going to need to go down here and to be able to access it from below, which is fine. It's available right here, so we're going to want to go one further down. Okay, and can we just feed in materials? Not like that. Will you let me feed in materials? Right click. No. We should be able to feed in. No? Oh, there's no mesh. Oh, I'm being stupid. I'm being very, very stupid. We got some mesh in our system. Diamond and flint stiffened mesh is going to be fine. I'm just going to put some diamond in for now, just to prove the concept. Pop you in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. I think the iron stiffened mesh we're going to want as well, but that's fine. And if I just right click in there, yep, off it goes. And you can see it should be progressing through these. Yep, it's just very slow. You can see it's just dropping down ever so slightly. Now that scales with the number of water wheels. And this is where it can get a little bit mad. But I quite like the mad approach. I've had like 30 water wheels on these before, and they've been working really quite nicely. So I think I'm going to do very much the same thing again. I'm just going to basically create lots and lots of stone with our stonework factory. It's over here. And we're going to make planks using, you know, our precision sawmill. Both of those will let us make more in these stone axles, and from that we'll be able to make everything else. So let's dump all of this in the system, and you can see I've got, well, 4 more, but I need a lot more oak wood planks, and that's why I said we may want at some point to have a tree farm going. For now it's the works, but you know, longer term it's probably a good idea. So let's just feed you in more stone. There we go. And stone axles, yeah, I've got 7 more, and from that, well, we need much more wood. Yeah, I don't have anywhere near enough. But that's 3 water wheels. We can put them in place, and let's see if that makes it even usable. There we go, and you can see the cumulative effect. This one's turning very little. The next one's turning twice as fast. How that works with just a simple stone shaft, don't question. It would normally just be them all turning at the same speed, and torque increasing, presumably. But, yeah, they are turning. So you can see them turning faster as they get closer. And now you can see this is, well, it's going to turn faster in a second. I've already got some stuff we got out of it. But if I just dump in, do I have any more gravel? Let's just get some from my material stonework factory. Or even sand or dust or anything, really. Anything will do. Let's go to stop. And that'll do. Let's get some gravel for now. We could put through earth or anything really, but let's just see how fast this sieves. That's only with 4 water wheels, remember, so we don't have very many yet. So there it is. So that is ticking over faster. 10, 20, you can see the progress in the tooltip at the top of the screen. So yeah, we're going to want to do that much, much faster. Probably about 10 times faster than that, in fact. So I am going to want to have 10 times as many of these, which means a long, long line of water wheels. Now, the only other thing to remember is that you need to keep putting water every couple or every 3 blocks will do it, I think. I think if I take that out there and put it here, that will turn perfectly fine. Yeah, so every 3 blocks or so. And then you start getting materials out of here. So all we need to do from here is really feed stuff into the top of it, which means feeding material stonework stuff into the said top. And I don't need to go down there anymore. I just completely mistaken. Let's just put an access area if I want it, however. And let's just cover that up with dirt. Okay. Cool. So I like that approach. And then we're going to need to feed, or basically get a vacuum hopper of some kind, pull all the materials out of there, and we'll start to store it in some kind of storage drawer system, which gets us into the usual kind of resource generation for a skyblock pack when we're not in a skyblock. So that will be it for today. Upgrade to our basically enderium Shuriken, which is extremely fast and doesn't dip. We've got an increase to our power store, or our power generation. There we go. And then we've got automatic basically sifting going on. We just need to feed stuff into it and pull stuff back out once it's finished sifting, which I'm quite happy with. And I'll probably generate a storage drawer controller between the episodes, and we'll see you next episode for that. So if you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, and do let me know in the comments down below if you've got any questions, or indeed if you are following along and you've got any tips for other players. That will be most appreciated as well. Also, of course, if you want to subscribe and click on the bell for notifications, you'll get notifications of further episodes. Otherwise, as always, guys, thanks for watching.